Hello, how are we? I hope you're all well. So today I thought it would be a really nice idea to get the Honda out and do a bit of off-road riding. Now I'm very fortunate to live in a part of Kent in the southeast, in the North Downs. So there's quite a few byways and green lanes, nothing too serious, but it's good fun. And I use the Honda a lot off-road. Now I'm not particularly good at riding off-road, but I'm very good at wobbling around the countryside, and I haven't fallen off yet. So maybe today will be the day, don't know. But I thought it would be a nice idea to go for a ride, green laning, take you with me, and talk you through what I think the Honda's good at, what it's not so good at, and give you a feel for what the little Honda does off-road and how much fun it is, really, because it just ear-to-ear smiles when I ride this thing, particularly on lanes like this. So yeah, come along, let's have some fun and enjoy this beautiful weather. Right, so we're coming up to our first byway. Oh, this one's steep and towards the top. I'm sure it won't look it, but it is. Oh. What's this fella doing? No. So, 125cc engine, 4-speed gearbox, no clutch. It's a centrifugal system, I believe. So to change gear, I let off the throttle, shift down, as in physically down on the shifter, which confusingly puts you up a gear. So it's neutral, first, second, third, fourth. Down again would be neutral, and then of course when you shift up, you're fourth, third, second. Sorry, yeah, you see what I mean. Takes a bit of getting used to, but you do get used to it. Now when you're decelerating, it can be very helpful to rev match. Anyway. So not too technical, this byway, but it does get steep. Now in second gear this will just bog down, and you can't feather the clutch to pick the revs back up either, because obviously there isn't a clutch that I can operate. So this is a first gear job. Now this isn't the sort of bike you want to ride off-road fast. It's not about that. It will get you there, but it will get you there at its own pace. It's not going to do it quickly, but it will do it. And she's got a bit more beans, in first gear. Now maybe give second a go. See, she's doing it, but it's not particularly happy in second on the really steep stuff. Alright, so that's byway number 1. Now I suggest we turn around, go back down that one, before heading over to the next byway. So ABS on the front, no ABS on the rear. Obviously you wouldn't want to pull the front brake on a hill like this, because if you were to, and I shall try and demonstrate it here, the ABS kicks in, because obviously the front wheel starts to lose traction, and it's all a bit scary. So back brake only, and it's obviously, being a rear brake's very forgiving. You can stamp on it, it'll lock up, it will slide a bit, but such a small light bike, it isn't at all scary. One of the great things about the little Honda, it's not very threatening to ride off-road. I've previously owned a couple of off-road orientated bikes. The first one was a Triumph Tiger 800 XC with the spoked wheels, and I'm sure that was a very capable off-road bike, but I couldn't flat-foot it, and it was too big and heavy, and I just felt terrified riding that thing off-road. Not even off-road, just on stuff like this, when this isn't challenging. So that was a no-go. And then a couple of years later I bought a CRF 250 Rally. That bike was really capable off-road, compromised on the road in terms of braking, because of course the forks were so long, they had so much travel, that when you wanted to brake harder, so much fork dive. But again, I'm 5'10" ish, but I've got short legs, so I couldn't flat foot that bike. And I've learned over the years that you get a lot of confidence from purely being able to flat foot an off-road, or any bike, but particularly a bike that you're going to take off-road. So yeah, anyway, as you can see, she handled that one no bother, as long as you keep it in first gear. Right, let's head to the next byway. Okay, byway number 2. So this one, it's a longer byway, a little challenging, but a little rocky to start with. Then it evens out because it was all re-tarmacked. It got so rutted that they just re-tarmacked the centre of it, and then it gets quite steep towards the end again. So lots of stones. Now, standing up on the Honda, whilst you could do it, and I do it on the occasion, because of the way the pegs are situated in relation to the bars, you're sort of crouching while standing. It's not a very natural position. It's not like standing up on a CRF Honda or something like that. So I tend to just sit down and enjoy the ride. Obviously, sitting down means you have to kind of slow the pace down a bit more, but to be honest, that suits the bike. Look at that. It suits the nature of the bike more. You know, you can't cover as much ground off-road as you can on pretty much any off-road, any other off-road motorbike, but it's just got this charm and this kind of can-do attitude about it, and feels like it will take you anywhere. It really does. And particularly riding this in the winter, even on the original tyres, it just feels so capable. It's amazing, it really is. You can see this is the bit they've resurfaced just there. Now we are running Kenda K262s now, so a more off-road orientated tyre than the original tyres. Vast improvement on the originals, particularly when it's a bit muddy and wet, but even now they just bite so much better. They're really good, and they're cheap as anything as well, which is another cool thing about this bike. One of the great things about the little Honda CT is that it's just cheap to own, cheap to run, cheap to maintain. I do all the servicing myself. It's so easy to do. I'd encourage any of you to work on your own little Honda if you have one, or anything really. I mean, I say that, I wouldn't do like the valve clearances on my old Honda CB500X that I used to own, but basic servicing, easy as you like on this thing. So getting a bit steeper here. Now, as you saw on the previous byway, if I put it to second now, it will just bog down. I'll demonstrate that now. You know, it's not having it. Right, this is really steep, this bit. So if we pin it, you know, it's good fun. She moves around a bit, even on the Kendas. Ooh, easy Tiger. Right, back down we go. First, actually, a bit of engine braking. So we've got a couple more byways to to ride after this. The last one being the challenging one. That's sort of my maximum ability and concentration will go into that last byway. It's very rocky, big kind of loose surface, rocks all over. It is challenging, but I have done it a few times now, and the last time I did it I didn't put my feet down once. So let's see if I can do that again. Probably not, I'll probably fall off. Now I'm recording it, but anyway, we shall see. But you will hear, coming down this, one of my gripes with this bike, and it is a cheap bike, you've got to remember that, this is a cheap bike. I think in Taiwan, where they're built, they're about £2,500 it equates to. Obviously they're more in Europe because they're all imported and there aren't many of them, but the forks top out going downhill very easily. You'll probably hear it in a minute, I'll point it out when it does it. I'll be quiet for a moment, see if you can hear it, and then I'll point it out after. It did it just back there, but we'll go down here and you'll hear it again. It's a knocking, it's really, really annoying. Here we go, you'll hear it here. Oh, no you won't. There, hear that? Anyway, the forks top out. Now, this can be improved upon. You can buy like a fork spring damper kit. That combined with some different, you have to get some heavier oil, apparently solves that issue. So it's on my list. Probably the only other thing I'd like to do to this is the fork internals, as I've just said. Other than that, for what it is bloody fantastic. Right, on to the next one. Speed and power. Dodgy junction here, got to be a little bit careful. Yep, there we go. We'll go straight over here, which is a bit sketchy. The car's coming. Of course there are. Hey, right. Oh, the other thing, which I haven't mentioned, is a bit of an issue, and a slightly harder issue to solve, is behind the seat, because it's obviously a single seat bike. Behind the seat, there's like a metal grab handle built into the rear rack, and it's right behind the seat. And even me with my short legs walloped my tailbone on it a couple of times, and it hurts. I've tried to wrap a bit of foam around it and cable tie it on, but even after the first ride, where you're kind of pressing against it, it breaks the foam. So I'm thinking, you used to get those, you can still get them, those rental foam bar pad things for motocross bikes. One of those could work. I'll show you what I mean in a bit. I'll pull over at the end of this and show you. It's all the sort of undulating stuff like that I have to stand up on, otherwise I tend to just stay seated. Right, stop here and show you what I mean. That That bloody thing there has caused me much pain. So I need to do something about that. As I say, one of those parental bar pads I think wrapped around there would work quite well. Anyway, that and the forks, the only two things need to change. Oh, let's put it in gear, shall we? Alright, next byway, just around the corner. Sorry if I'm a bit quiet, I'm trying to concentrate. You wait till the next one, I'll be bloody silent, I can tell you that. You'll see what I mean in a moment. It's only up here at the end of this one. Oh, a little rabbit. Oh, interesting. How's this going to work then? Oh, right. Okay, come on, little Honda. What a load of rubbish. Can't go up there. What bloody chances are that? Right, okay, well, let's demonstrate the manoeuvrability of the little Honda, shall we? He says, just getting stuck. Right, well, I'm really sorry, guys. That really challenging one I've been banging on about. I can't get to. They're resurfacing the sodding road. Oh, that's so annoying. Right, okay, think. What do we do now? In fact, I'll tell you what we'll do. The missus is leaving me to fend for myself this evening, would you believe? Not only that, at short notice. Apparently she told me ages ago, but I don't believe her. So I need to go and get myself some dinner. So I shall go and do that now, and then I will come back via the road to that byway. Hopefully by then they would have finished doing what they're doing. Right, that sounds like a plan. I will catch you in a bit. Right, so I've been to the supermarket, I've got my dinner, killed a little bit of time. Hopefully these roadworks that were happening earlier at the bottom of the byway that I'd like to ride and show you, hopefully they're not there anymore. Oh, come on lads, so we get ready to go home. Cheers, buddy. Thanks, mate. Cheers. Thanks, mate. Yes, guys, we are here. Oh. Right, now, as I said earlier, this byway is, for me at least, a challenging one. So forgive me for being quiet. So I'm probably going to make lots of funny noises, but not actually say anything. That's because I'm going to be trying not to fall off. See how we get on. As I say, last time I did this, I didn't put my foot down once. I'm sure it's never going to happen again. Anyway, pretty sure this is a first gear last time as well. As you can see, it's lots of loose rocks and all sorts going on. But anyway, right. I did do this before I had the kenders put on. It managed it then. So what excuse have I got now if I don't make it up? And again, probably doesn't look that steep. It's a fair old incline, this. All about momentum with the little Honda CT. Mindful of the sump. It has got a sump guard, but also it's not as high as it would be on something like a CRF. Just got to be a little bit careful with that. Hey! Great success! Look at that. Oh, that was so much fun. Shame about all the fly tipping, isn't it? Anyway. Right. Let's go back down. We'll keep her in first. Back brake only. I bet this looks flat on the video, but I promise you it isn't. God. See, he's put his foot down, look at that. Hey. Look at that. God, that was harder going down than it was going up. Okay, she's not happy there. Let's see if she's happy. There we go, look at that. I hope that's given you a bit of an insight as to what it's like for an average rider like me taking the Honda CT125 off-road. Thank you all for watching, and I'll catch you on the next one. Cheers.